Ain't turning back. Now that I'm back on track, yeah. Take my word for it. Put a couple bands on it. And I don't plan on letting people turn me. No. You can say what you want. I'ma keep pressing on. I came about that thing like I'm feeling green, right? Talking to my past life. Focus on my great life. Cruising to my future.
Hey, we are here once again, and that is correct. We are breaking the silence. And of course, today we are also going to bring you another exciting episode, fun ones, fun discussions, and also ones that you could think about. But before that, we are going to introduce ourselves for new viewers out there. My name is Angeli.
My name is Nori.
And I am Francisca.
And again, breaking the silence. So for today, ladies, we have a lot in store for our viewers. We have as well our question of the day that we already want to ask them, and that is, what decisions have you become more comfortable making without explanation? That sigh right there.
Interesting question.
That sigh.
Very interesting question.
And we're gonna have you think about that for an hour, okay? That's why we're bringing it to you in the start of the program, because perhaps, there are, things in life that happen, and now you're just, comfortable making them because it happened to you and you've experienced it. So feel free to send in your comments. We have our QR code that you can scan, send in your responses, send us what you think about this question. And of course, we want as well to just give you a little spoiler of what we're going to talk about today. We have topics. That is, one is actions speak louder than words. Is it really though? Is it really though?
They do.
So we'll figure that out later on. We're going to talk more about that. We are going to use words, okay, not actions to explain it. So just to clarify that, although actions speak louder than words. And also we have another topic, connection over correction. For all our parents out there, maybe new parents or old-time parents, maybe you have kids, it's already like just waking every day. It's basically like 1, 2, 3 for you because you've been through it and you've gone through it, you've done everything. So send us your responses as well. Feel free again to connect with us. But right now we are going to go on a quick break and we will be right back.
Real women, real talk. Breaking the silence is where stories become connections. Let's break the silence together.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/therightseat.
Depressed and unable to sleep? Battling with suicidal thoughts? Trying to find a way out? See none? You do your best, but it feels like your best isn't good enough. It's the same struggle day after day. Will this cycle never end? At the Universal Church, we have a 24/7 helpline with pastors on standby willing to assist you. No matter the situation or problem, there is a solution. We're here for you. Call this number, 1-888-332-4141. It's a safe number to call, and we're ready to counsel and pray for your way out.
For too many people, this can be the gateway to opioid addiction.
My son was in pain. He needed something after surgery.
I was prescribed opioids. I didn't realize the risk.
Our family was changed forever by opioids.
Meet 3 everyday Americans whose lives were devastated by opioid addiction.
Everyone says it can't happen to me.
It can't happen to me.
It can't happen to me.
Tell that to my son.
Tell that to the 3 million people who become long-term opioid users every year after surgery. The truth is, we didn't know we had options other than opioids after surgery, but now we do.
I never thought addiction would be part of my life story, but it is.
Visit planagainstpain.com/gateway to hear their full stories and learn about non-opioid options for managing pain after surgery.
Do you talk the talk but not walk the walk? Well, today we are talking about actions speak louder than words, and what does it really mean? Today we are going to bridge the gap between what we say and what we do, and how we can align our words with our actions. Because although, ladies, although actions might speak louder than words, and yes, it does, but it's also not good to have just your words not connecting to your actions. So it's much better to have them aligned together, So mean what you say and say what you mean. But again, a study in California, in the University of California, actually found that people are more likely to trust someone based on their actions than their spoken words. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think that's very true, because people can lie to you all day long. People can tell you what you need to hear or what they think that you want to hear, but their actions show the truth. Their actions show whether or not what they're saying is actually true or not. Like if somebody promises you something and then you're like, oh, they're so sincere, they're going to help me with this, I know that they're going to have my back, and then the day comes and the person's not there. So it shows, their actions show that what they were saying were just words, were just what you wanted to hear in the moment, but they never followed through with it. So I think that is, you need to be looking more at the person's actions than you do listening to their words.
And we have to be very careful as well, speaking about ourselves as well. It's easy to say so many things, but as both of you are saying, at the end of the day, what's really going to count, what's really going to be meaningful is your actions behind it, you don't even necessarily need to say anything. Just by doing it, that already shows more than enough. Because if you're the type of person that you're quick to speak, you're quick to say all of these things, but at the end of the day, you're not about it, you lose credibility, you lose respect, and it also shows a lot about your character, and you have to be very careful with that as well. Because imagine if the tables turn. What if the tables turn? You're counting on someone, and sometimes we even fall into the trap of trusting, taking someone's word on something and just leaving it. Like, let's say, for example, I come to Angeli and say, hey, Angeli, next week Tuesday, for example, I need you to do this for me. And I just leave it at that. Days go by or whatever, because I'm so confident that Tuesday coming, Angeli is gonna come through for me. Tuesday comes, what happens? Angeli doesn't come through for me. So that doesn't only makes you look bad, but it also puts me in a position where now I'm disappointed, where now I'm frustrated. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation as well. So we need to be very careful when we say something, but we also need to check ourselves as well. Like if I'm saying something, I need to make sure I fall through with it as well. Because if not, it's better just not to say anything at all.
And it's like accountability, right? Your actions will be like the one that accountable of your words. Because as you were saying, if you don't follow through with the words that you've spoken, again, if we say a lot of words every single day, but if you don't follow through, basically you're not being accountable to what you said to another person. That for you probably it's just like, I just blurted those words out, it doesn't really mean anything. So why did you even say it, So your actions means a lot. Although silence is, sometimes they say silence means yes, but not necessarily, not necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, right? But we also need to follow through with our words because it speaks of our character. It speaks about who we are. And it's not just about telling people what they want to hear in the moment. We have to be sincere with our words, be honest. And sometimes you want to tell the person what they want to hear, or you want to people please. You want to make that person think that you are reliable. But at the end of the day, if you're going to break that promise and you know that what you're saying, what you're promising to be done is not going to happen, at the end of the day, that's going to hurt your relationship with that person. It's going to break that trust and that barrier with that person. So sometimes, even though in the moment it might be difficult to say no, it might be hard to tell them the truth because it's going to go against what the person really wants to hear. But we need to do that. We need to be able to stand up and tell them no, like, hey, this is not, I'm not able to meet this deadline. I'm not able to go there on this day, whatever the case is, so that this person is not relying on you. Because nothing is worse, and like what Nori was saying, you're relying on somebody to follow through because they promised that they would do it. And because you are a person that keeps your word, you expect other people to do the same. But then when they fall through, then it's like, well, why weren't they honest with me? Why didn't they just tell me that they couldn't do it and then I could have done something else about it? So you also have to think about both sides. Just as Nori was saying, like, you have to think about both sides of the coin. Like, if this happened to you, how would you feel? So sometimes, even though in the moment it might be kind of nerve-wracking and you'd be like, oh, but I don't want to disappoint this person. But at the end, you're going to end up doing it, and you know you're going to do it. So why don't we just speak up now?
Exactly. Whether big or small, is always good to be a person of your word. And it's always good to communicate. Here, we're always talking about communication. Communication is key. For example, if you've given your word on something, but you see that you're not going to be able to go through with it, you're not going to be able to help that person out in the end, communicate. You get more credit for communicating, giving that person time in order for them to be able to recollect themselves and think about plan B, C, all the way through Z, whatever it is, then that time coming and you're either a no-show or what you were supposed to do is it just wasn't done, and you know, now the person is left high and dry. You know, so communication is key. If you've given your word on something, you say you're going to do it, you're going to fall through, but something happens, hey, it happens, it's life, you know, but communicate, say something. That holds more weight than you just not doing anything at all, leaving that person, you know, up in the air with nothing else to do, with no other resources to fall back on.
And you really have to think, whenever you try to commit to something, you need to step back and really think about it. You know, if you really can commit to whatever task or whatever is needed to be done. Because if you just say yes, you know, but then you think about it later on, oh yes, I have, you know, it's like you are going back on your word, right? Again, if something really happens unexpectedly, you communicate it, but it's you know, our words have power, yes, our words have power, but also we have to know the weight of, you know, whatever word comes out of our mouth, because even our words can really be detrimental. It could either encourage or, you know, discourage somebody. So imagine using your words to discourage someone because you are lacking commitment, because you're not following through to whatever task you were given or whatever you said to the person, you know, making promises and all those stuff. Because of that, you know, you are I would say breaking that bridge of trust. You know, imagine in a relationship, again, communication is key, but also trust is another key to have that relationship working. But then if you don't follow through with your words, if you don't use your actions to really mean what you say, then that trust and that communication is just not connecting. And the other person, or even family members or loved ones or friends, they might find it hard to really believe in you, or even to assign a task, or even, you know, count on you on something because of, you know, the words that didn't follow through with actions.
And we need to make sure as well that we are not misleading, because it can be an action that the other person might consider as, okay, yes, she's gonna fall through for me, she's gonna go and help me. You need to be clear with whatever it is that you're offering yourself to do. Whether you're saying, hey, you know what, I'ma look for some of these things here for you and whatnot, or whatever the case may be. If you are gonna go through with it, then you express that, make it clear. But if you're kind of iffy about something, just step back. Just step back and don't even say anything at all, because you're iffy. If a person is needing, if I'm in need of something and you're kind of like in the iffy mode, I'm gonna take that as a yes, because I'm needing it, and you see that I'm needing it. So if you come and you're like, well, no, I got you, don't worry, I'll check some things out for you, I'm gonna take it as, yeah, I'm gonna help you out, girl.
It's
because
like
I'm really needing
Yeah.
it. But if you're not sure that you're actually gonna fall through with it, girl, don't say anything at all.
yeah, it's like you wanted
At
to
all.
help, your intention is good, but you're not able to commit, then leave the intention aside,
Just
because
let it
you're
go.
not gonna have action.
Exactly.
Yeah, only commit if you know
Yeah.
you're gonna do it. If you're not
Exactly.
gonna commit, then just don't even say anything.
Yeah.
Just let it go and just let them go to the next person. Because nothing is worse than relying on somebody to do something and then they're not there. They never follow through with
Can you
it.
imagine? You're like, oh my goodness.
And it's at the
told
very last
I told Francisca what I needed. Francisca heard me
sorry.
out. She saw time was against me. And
I left her hanging.
Francisca, you left me hanging, girl.
I did not leave
How
her
could
hanging.
you?
But maybe she's saying, but my
I
intentions
was
are
saying
good.
no. I was saying no, but she was
You didn't-
forcing
you
me.
didn't
She's
completely
like, no,
say
you're
no.
gonna
She
do,
didn't
you're gonna do it. And I
completely
said
say
no,
no.
I don't have time. I'm
She
too
didn't
busy.
completely say no. So she
just
didn't
didn't take
clearly
my no.
communicate. So you know what? That just shows me I can't count on Francisca, y'all. Ain't that something?
Amen. Don't
well.
come ask me for no more work.
Oh well, if you're like Francisca, that you're not aligning your words with your actions.
Yeah.
Well, don't make it like like such a big task for you. Maybe just do some small actions here and there for those of you who are really like having a hard time, following through with your words. Small gestures count. Baby steps. Again, we always say here, small wins, right? Small wins, small steps. So make sure that you give credit to yourself as well. Be kind to yourself because again, you're not able to do it if you're pushing yourself too hard. So make sure to put it to practice, maybe even today, do the task or whatever you said yes to, or say, yes, I can do it. Maybe you can start with that. But, I hope you learn from this. Actions speak louder than words. Say what you mean and mean what you say. So we're going to go on a quick break and we'll be right back.
We will be right back with more Breaking the Silence.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
The Universal Church is a place where help is offered to everyone based on the Word of God. You will feel burdened, anxious, tormented, discouraged. God has a way out for you. Visit your nearest location. Nevada, 2121E, Tropicana Avenue 1, Las Vegas, Nevada 89119. Tennessee, 4916 Nolensville Pike, Nashville, Tennessee 37211. New Jersey, 100 Clinton Avenue, Newark, New Jersey 07114. If these locations aren't close by, call 888-332 for 141 for more information, or text us at 888-312 for 141. Visit our website, www.ulfn.org/locations. The Universal Church, where a new life awaits you.
Human trafficking is slavery.
And it happens all over America.
Any child, any woman, any man could potentially become a victim of human trafficking.
I am a victim of labor trafficking.
I was victim of child sex trafficking, but now I own my body.
Human trafficking is any kind of forced labor.
It can happen to anybody.
I am a mother.
I am an author.
I am a son.
I'm an advocate.
I am an educator.
I'm a sister.
I am a brother.
I'm so much more than what happened to me.
I am strong.
I am brave.
I am outspoken.
I am compassionate.
I am a survivor.
I'm a survivor.
I am a survivor.
I am a survivor.
I am a survivor.
I am a survivor of human trafficking.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how's sketches? Ready? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes. Look at that. You didn't turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you got to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
You are watching Breaking the Silence.
We are exploring our world, and our country of choice today is Sri Lanka. Yes, so it's all the way, we're traveling all the way to the South Asia. Yes, Asia. All the way to Sri Lanka. And actually, Sri Lanka is known as the Pearl of the Indian Ocean. Yeah, definitely, it's a pearl. And we're going to get to that in a few. And also, you know that it is a very, I would say, fantastic country for women travelers, because I know nowadays we have solo travelers and also women, and in the past we've given countries that are safe to travel, and also you can enjoy a lot of activities, a lot of adventures that you can do. So here the same in Sri Lanka, you're also going to be able to do that. But before we give you all this information, we want to prepare you first, because what do you need to know when you're visiting Sri Lanka? So Sri Lanka is predominantly a Buddhist country, so they have a very conservative culture. So, you know, if you are going to be traveling to Sri Lanka, it would be best to dress modestly and, you know, pack some clothes, maybe scarves or dresses with sleeves, you know, to also respect the country, the tradition, the culture. Again, we always emphasize you need to educate yourself, right, when traveling, what the tradition is, what the culture is like, what the place is like, because you are visiting, you don't live there, you don't know the country, so you need to respect their own traditions.
And talking about educating yourself, learning the local language from there as well, which is actually called Sinhala.
Yeah,
I might be saying it wrong, but it's somewhere along those lines, okay? Sinhala. Just learn the basics of it, like hello, good morning, goodbye, I need help, or just the basics of it. So that way they can also feel like, okay, wow, look, they came into my territory, and look, they know a little bit of here, a little bit of there. They're not just coming like, oh, hey, you know what, I just stepped into y'all's place, y'all country, and I'm just, no. You're actually putting in the work and showing that, hey, you know, I'm appreciating your culture, I'm loving your culture, I'm open to learn. So, and of course, you can always communicate with the locals there in case you need anything.
Yeah, and that's always nice when you go to another country and you can speak their language, because it's not like, oh, it's just one more person coming here to visit my country who could care less about like what we are about, the language that we speak, the culture, all of that. They just come here for the nice beaches or for whatever they come there to see, the different ruins that they come to see. But you take the time to learn that language, and it kind of breaks down that barrier between you and then the people that live there, right? Because they're like, okay, so they actually did some kind of learning and investigating before coming here. But something, if you are traveling there for the first time or at any other place, it's always good to go on guided tours, especially if you are traveling by yourself, because it is very dangerous for you to go by yourself as a woman to travel to these places, especially if you don't know the language and you don't know the area. You can get lost, you can end up in places that you should not be. So it's always good to go either with a group or to be able to get these guided tours so that you can see everything that that country has to offer, but to do it safely,
where you're
which
not
is the most important part, right?
Where you're not necessarily alone all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now let's go to our packing essentials. So of course, now you have the basic information. And now what to pack to go to Sri Lanka. Again, the weather here it's a tropical country, so it's hot, summery all year round, maybe some rain here and there, but you're not gonna necessarily bring a winter coat because this is an Asian country and you're not gonna ever use it, or winter boots or none of that. So make sure you pack light, breathable clothing that covers, again, shoulders and knees because it's predominantly a conservative country. Also bring a scarf to cover yourself up, maybe in case you're wanting to visit temples or some of those ancient temples, ancient places that you need to visit. But also don't forget to bring a reusable bottle of water.
Which is essential in places like this where it's very hot,
really
you're walking a lot, you're outside, you don't want to dehydrate, you don't want to, so it's always good to have that as well.
And you also need a pair of comfortable walking shoes.
Oh,
for sure. Because, I mean, sometimes we come with that fashion and we're like, but these sandals look so cute with this dress. But then 20 minutes down, you're walking down these pathways and you're not comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fashion does not always, you don't have to always look cute everywhere you go.
Or you trying to look cute with your sandals.
I think I know what you're thinking about.
And your sandals pop, they break, the strap, whatever it is, and now you don't have no shoes. What are you gonna do?
Bring another pair, an extra pair.
Oh my gosh.
Bring a bag.
Bring a comfortable pair of tennis shoes to just walk around. I think everybody will understand the fashion statement for sure.
Yeah.
Because you got to be comfortable, because a lot of the times you're walking everywhere. And
or
so
standing
you
a lot.
You have to wear comfortable
Yeah, you're there
shoes.
to visit. You're there not to just sit somewhere and just, so
Yeah.
you're there to explore, right? And now we have to go to what you can do and what you can enjoy in Sri Lanka. Of course, the beaches. So we have the pristine shores of Mirissa, Weligama, Tangal in the south. And also, if you're somebody who wants to surf, we also have our surfer vibes at the golden beaches of Arugam Bay on the east coast. This is one of the things in like this country like islands, island-like countries, something like that, but they're surrounded with water, and that makes them like really great with like beaches and stuff like that. So this is one of the places that you should visit. If you're visiting Sri Lanka, it's a must-see, okay? Another one is ancient cities. So we have a lot of temples in Sri Lanka. Also, we have towers, towering stupas, intricate carvings, and ancient ruins. If you're somebody who's like, I want to know a little bit of history of Sri Lanka, then this is a must. Look at that.
That looks amazing.
Look at that. Are you able to just like climb that? I would.
I'll be curious enough to.
Yeah, I would probably take on the challenge. I think our friend here is a little.
I definitely would not. I would
just stay underground.
Why not?
You saw how steep that tower went and how small the stairs probably were.
Interesting.
I mean, go ahead, take pictures. You know what? Put me on Zoom. Let me be able to enjoy the view from down below. But that is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful.
Look at that lush greens of, it's just so beautiful.
It is definitely a place to visit. Normally when we think about vacation, we think about, getting away. We go to local places. We go to places that are close by. Try something different, adventurous, like Sri Lanka, And again, it's always good to educate yourself with everything, the do's and the don'ts whenever you go visit a beautiful country like this, because I'm pretty sure it's definitely going to be worth it.
Yes, we also have our lovely elephants, the gentle giants. If you're somebody who's like, I really want to meet one of them, they're very gentle. Of course, don't provoke them, okay? But they're gentle if you're gentle with them. So we have a lot of wildlife here in Sri Lanka as well. Just be careful with some of the animals like leopards and some of the bird life in there. But there's a lot of scenery in Sri Lanka. It's one of the countries, a must see, a must visit. So definitely maybe put that in your bucket list.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Definitely. Oh, look at that.
We are just like mesmerized. We're mesmerized by all of the sceneries. And maybe one day we can share with you, on the location what Sri Lanka is like. But that is it for our exploring of the world today. If you have any other suggestions, maybe you visited a country, a place which is not much talked about, send us your opinions, send us your ideas. But we are going to go on a quick break right now, and we will be right back.
Breaking the silence. Laughs. Fun. Real women, real talk. Stay tuned.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was like a whole range of emotions, joy, sadness. There's gonna be obstacles. You're gonna feel like, why is it happening to me? And you're gonna realize you're not the only one. There's no perfect way. Your own way will be the perfect way. You're gonna protect it with all your might. Just seeing him happy, it's just joy, I look through his eyes, I can envision like a whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. Oh man, he can smile now. I'm happy because he's advancing in life, he's growing. Being a young dad, it's not giving up, it's shifting. My life is now devoted to his life.
Witness the breathtaking miracles of Jesus like never before, brought to life on your screen. From the miraculous feeding of the multitudes with fish and bread, the resurrection of Lazarus, experience these miracles.
Kill him. Don't leave him alive. You can't do that. Why not? Caiaphas is right.
That stirred both amazement and controversy. Explore how these miracles played a key role in intensifying Jesus' conflict with the religious leaders of Jerusalem. Jesus series, only on the Living Faith Network, Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Breaking the silence. Real women, real conversations, real time. Empowering, motivating, and inspiring you live throughout the week. But we know life gets busy, and you shouldn't have to miss a single moment. Check out watch.ulfn.org/breakingthesilence. Your one-stop destination to catch up, rewatch, and relive your favorite episodes anytime. Unfiltered conversations, influential guests, life-changing moments. All just a click away. Why miss out when you can experience Breaking the Silence over and over again on your time? Start watching today. Breaking the Silence is back. Let's keep the conversation going.
I love you, and the answer is no. We are talking about the world of parenting, connection over correction. And I would probably say that gentle parenting, that it's a lot spoken about these days, gentle parenting, but I wouldn't put a term to that, but it's more like connecting with your children before correction, establishing the boundary, but also fostering that positive environment, making sure that they're heard, but also making sure that they're not the one in control, So actually a study in the University of California found that children who feel a secure attachment, so a secure attachment when kids and children, they don't feel intimidated with the closeness, but also they're open to express their needs, their feelings to the parent, they exhibit more positive behavior. And with the generation nowadays, we see a lot of Gen Z kids or even teens and children that are more rebellious. Is it because the parent, is overwhelming them, or is it because they're not taught well? Is it not because they're not expressing their emotions clearly? Or what is wrong with the kids these days, or the teens these days, especially that teens is like the hardest phase that a parent has to deal with. What do you think about that?
I think, and you mentioned the word control. I think it all depends on how the parents take control of the situation, which is really going to make the difference. And I say this because my niece, she has a son, and whenever he throws a tantrum or whenever he does something he's not supposed to do, as opposed to just shouting from across the room or whatever and saying, stop it, or leave it alone, or whatever it is, she stops what she's doing. If she needs to correct him, she stops what she's doing. She comes down to his level and she asks him, what's going on? What's the problem? Why are you doing this? What are you feeling? And automatically he just starts speaking. He expresses what he's feeling without any fear. And he's only like about 6 or 7 years old, but he just communicates it properly because he sees that she took the time to come down to his level to actually meet his need and address the situation. Now there's times where she does that and the answer is still no, but because she took the time and gave him that attention, he cuts it out. He stops with the tantrum. And he understands that, even with his little brother, she acknowledges whenever he's doing something good with his little brother, or whenever, he's being mean or whatever the case may be, she stops and she addresses the situation at their level. So whenever they speak, I'm like, goodness gracious, they're like old men trapped in a small body because they're actually communicating properly to the point where sometimes, I remember one time I told him I had a Spider-Man toy for him, and he didn't forget it. I didn't see him for months. And then when he finally saw me again, he says, hey, did you bring my Spider-Man toy? I said, oh man, I forgot. And he was like, I am so disappointed at you. I said, what in the world? Boy, listen. But it aids the way we give attention to the children. It aids in the way they communicate, in the way they express themselves. So I think the way the parents take control of the situation will speak volumes and also help them communicate better with others as well.
Exactly what you're saying. I have seen the same thing with the way that my brother is with his kids, because they also, he gets down to their level and sees why they're acting the way that they're acting, and the way that my nephew can speak and explain himself to me, I'm like, who am I talking to? These are not like what kids were back in the day, at all. They're able to really express their feelings, why they're feeling certain ways, and they're using words that grown-ups would be using. And you're like, you're this tiny and talking to me like this. It blows my mind. But I think that it's so amazing that parents are taking the time out now to be able to talk to the kids like this, because you can really see a difference in their attitude, in their behavior, in the way that they're speaking, in the way that they're communicating. But it's because they also feel a sense of security of who they are, because they have been, since they were little, accustomed to expressing how they feel, expressing how things have bothered them before they grew up and then started to have insecurities about why they feel certain ways. When they start at a young age and start to do that, they are able to really express themselves and not be afraid to express why things are bothering them, and understand the reason I reacted this way is because I was feeling this way about the situation. It helps them as they grow older and as they become wiser and they're maturing in their age to really start to evaluate things better. And it's amazing how that, just taking that time to talk to them and say, tell me how you're feeling. Why are you feeling this way? You know, why do you think that you reacted in this way? How could you have reacted differently next time? You know, these thought processes, just not just coming and telling the kid, stop screaming, stop, you know, because then that puts fear in them. And then all they know is to lash out, because that's the only way to communicate, because they're so scared, they're so fearful of the way they feel, and then they always try to put down their feelings, hide their feelings. And then that builds resentment inside of them, that what they feel and what they believe is not worth anything, because they've been taught that what they feel, what they believe, how they react is not right. So there's something wrong with me. So let me hide that part of me. So I really do look up to those parents that take that time. It's hard, and I'm sure in that moment when you just want to,
you just wanted to
get that kid and do what you want to do to it, but you take that time and you say no. Like, by taking that time, sitting down with them, talking with them, at the end, it's really going to help the relationship with that kid and your relationship with them.
And when you give a voice to a child, not necessarily that they're going to take control, but you give a voice to them to express themselves, to express their emotions. And when you explain to them, okay, don't yell. Why should I not yell? You know, you explain to them that that behavior is negative, that behavior is not appropriate. Because when you just say, stop screaming. Why should I stop screaming? You know, there is no logic behind that. But when you give an explanation and you allow them to actually express themselves, that gives them the validation that, okay, I am heard, you know, even though my behavior or what I did was wrong, but I am heard, so I'm able to address myself, you know. So I think that gives them that room to, you know, improve and also take in the explanation. And now that's why we have like these kids like speaking to us like adults, because they're able to express themselves. And it's very important, because at a young age, when you're able to express yourself, it helps you in your adult life. Because a lot of adults nowadays, that it's hard for them to express themselves, even express their needs, due to the fact that, you know, when they were younger, they were not able to voice out whatever they need, you know.
Exactly. They weren't heard, or they felt like they didn't matter. For example, if you have a child that is crying or whatever it is, and you're just like, whatever, you know, he's gonna cry himself to sleep, or he's just gonna stop eventually, or whatever. That, through time, that's just gonna become worse, because in his mind, he's saying, well, mom's not paying attention to me. She's not asking me what I need, what's wrong with me. Then you know what? I'm gonna get her attention some other way. I'm gonna lash out. I'm gonna write on the walls. I'm gonna beat people up. I'm gonna bite. I'm gonna spit. I'm gonna do whatever, because when I do this, I get the attention. But it's a negative attention, which ultimately, as they get older, is gonna become a really big issue.
Yeah, so for those of you parents out there, maybe you're new to parenting and you're just hearing about this, or maybe you learned from your parents as well how to parent your children, you know, make sure that you're allowing you are the mother, you are the father of that child. So you should know your child, what makes them, you know, what triggers them. So make sure you build that connection before you even try to scream, try to correct, because connection is something that you build, you know, over time. And when you have that connection, that child is going to feel secure, even though when they go to adulthood. So I hope you learned from this topic, and we're gonna go on a quick break and we will be right back.
The show isn't over yet. Don't change the channel. We will be right back with more Breaking the Silence.
Why? Why do we ignore the things that give us pause, that seem out of place, that don't feel right? The answer to why defines who we are. So if you see something, why do you say something?
I see safe for my friends.
For my community.
For my family.
For each other. Because all of this matters. We all have something worth protecting. So why do you see safe? Report suspicious activity to local authorities. If you see something, say something.
Too busy to sit down with your favorite network? Not home to catch what's on TV? Welcome to the ULFN app. There's nowhere else to find action, drama, news, and motivation that lifts you up like our inspirational programs. No matter where you are, there's no better way to tune in and stay up to date with the latest episode when it airs. Our live broadcast enables you to watch us anytime, anywhere, 24/7. Never get left out again. If you're a fan of any of our programs, download the ULFN app now and watch what you love. Available both on the Apple App Store and Google Play.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
We haven't forgotten about our question of the day, and we're going to read some of your comments, but let us just read it over. What decisions have you become more comfortable making without explanation? Okay, and we have our viewers that gave in their brave answers. Okay, so let's read them. From Carissa, she says, saying no to plans to go out. I used to always feel the need to come up with an excuse to not go out. Yeah.
Ooh, girl, we on the same page.
Yes, and yes.
I just simply just say no thanks. I'll pass next time, as opposed to having to find an excuse.
No, because no, but no, this, no. That. Just say
no.
No,
that's it.
It's a full sentence.
All right. Next one is from Jodelyn. Not having kids, I'm tired of explaining this decision to others. Just accept it.
Yes.
What is it any of your business if I have kids or not?
They're not the one who's gonna raise the kids. They're not gonna raise the kids. So what are you asking?
Can I have them and leave them with you?
Or maybe they just wish they were brave enough not to have kids, and then now they're like, you gotta be in the same.
I know.
Same pain I'm in over here.
I like that one.
Yeah.
All right, and we have our next one, which is from
Isabel. I'm tired of explaining my decisions to be vegan to people, so I just don't anymore. That's it. You don't gotta explain it.
Point blank.
I mean, people always are like, how can you be vegan? How can you not eat meat?
Yeah.
What's wrong with, what do you eat? And
Guilty.
it's like,
Guilty.
I mean, I used to give people a hard time too, because I'm like, come on, what you eating? And then what kills me is then they would season their veggies or whatever they eat as though it was meat, and I'm like, why aren't you just eating meat if you like the flavor? But I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
To each his own.
Yeah.
If it's working for them, if it's making them feel good, if it's beneficial for them, hey, let it go.
Yeah.
Just be happy for the person, and that's it. Keep it going. Keep it pushing. Angelique,
How
what about yours?
No, they told me through.
Quick on the draw.
Yeah, they were so quick. Oh my goodness, I was
Sorry.
about to. Okay, for me, the decision to explain myself why I have to let go of some things. You know, things that just let it go. Why do you have to let it go? You know, you work hard so hard for it. Like just an example. Yeah. But you know, I've come to like the fact that I have more peace when I let things go.
Yeah.
So for me, yeah, that's one of them.
Okay. What about you?
So for me, one thing that I'm just done with is like why I'm not in a relationship. Mm-hmm. Because back in the day, like people always ask me, "Oh, don't you want to get married? Don't you want to? Who are you dating? Who are you with?" And I'm like, "Can I just breathe?
Let me breathe.
Can
Give
I
me
just
some
breathe?"
space.
So when I'm ready, everybody will know. But right now, it's like I don't feel like I need to explain it. I don't want to be in a relationship right now. I'm good. I'm doing me. And so I just feel like, you know, and those are things along with being like having kids. These are just personal things that sometimes people don't need to know everything about you.
There you go.
And your reasons, just know. Just know.
That's it.
And what about you?
Mine's will be, it might sound funny, y'all, but mine's is just not having to explain at all. Like, I'm fine. Exactly. You know what? whether you explain or you don't, people are still going to have their opinions of why you should, why you shouldn't, why don't you, why do you. So you know what, listen, I wasn't born to please people. So you know what, just leave me alone. I don't need to explain it. If it's benefiting me, if it's helping me, if I'm not doing anything, just let me live. Let me live. So I don't need to explain, just let it go.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
And we're not going to explain any further, okay? You don't need to. No, we're just kidding. If you have more things to say, feel free. Still send in your comments. Maybe your comment was not read, but don't worry. Still send them in anyway. So that is our QR code. You can scan that, and it's going to direct you all the way to our Instagram page where you can DM us. And we're going to give you a quick break right now, but actually we're going to go to our quick inspirational story of Azalea.
I was in an abusive relationship. One boyfriend I had, he tried to kill me. And when he came to my house, I was coming down the block going to the store, and he saw me and he just pulled out the gun, and I just started running because I was with my friends, and I just started running. And they said they thought I was running with a bullet in my back because of how close it was. I had a good childhood. My mother's a nurse. She always had 2 or 3 jobs. My father was addicted to heroin, so that led my mother to have to work. You know, she was a single parent. It didn't work out with her and my father, obviously, because he was a heroin addict. So we had a stepfather, and he was abusive. He beat me one time so bad I had bruises, like black eyes and stuff. And then, you know, my mother put him out. When I was in the 5th grade, that's when I had my first cigarette. And when I was, I believe in the 8th grade, I was in junior high school, is when I had my first drink, my first 40 ounce. I didn't start with drinking with liquor. I started with beer. That was, honestly, I would say that's what turned me on to drinking. I started to drink every day, all the time. It became a habit. It was something I had to have. As soon as I get off of work, I'm going straight to the bar. I used to hang out in the bar every day, all night, and then get up for work the next morning and start it all over again. I had sniffed coke a few times. I did ecstasy a few times. After I had kids, I didn't stop drinking. I really couldn't, you know, sleep or do anything unless I drank. I was depressed. I couldn't be alone. You know, I had low self-esteem. You know, I never knew how much I was like, I needed something and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what I needed. My brother came to the Universal Church first, and I see how, you know, he changed. You know, he was doing things differently. And at that point, I had already decided I wanted to make a change. You know, I wanted to come to God, and I was trying to find a church. And he told me about Universal Church. The first time I came to Universal Church, I knew I was home. So I've been to a lot of churches. What made me stay is that the pastor was honest. He didn't tell me what I wanted to hear to make me stay or to get my tithe. He told me what I needed to hear to progress spiritually. I surrendered everything to God, meaning myself. I've even put my children to the side and put God first. So once I put God ahead of my children, then that's when I received the Holy Spirit. I no longer have any more alcohol addictions to anything. I don't do any drugs. I don't do anything anymore. I've been alcohol free for 3 years now. Depression, no. Before I couldn't be alone, but now I've pushed the kids out the door. Azalea today is a lot nicer, friendlier. I'm a better mother, a better friend. Now we do have a good relationship. My kids come talk to me about everything. I talk to them about everything. My daughter, she's an assistant now, and my son, he's an auxiliary pastor in the church, and God has blessed my family tremendously. Now, all I want to do is save souls. I want people to experience what I have, experience what I'm going through, and receiving the Holy Spirit is the most important thing.
Thank you, Azalea, for inspiring other women out there that they can, once they persevere, once they're resilient, once they're really wanting to change, then that change will happen to them. So thank you so much for empowering us. And as well, we want to thank our viewers for always tuning in, for always sticking with us, for always sending in your comments. You know, we dedicate this time to all of you. We make episodes fun, exciting. Sometimes we have games, we have difficult topics sometimes, but you always come through, right?
Yeah.
So we want to thank you for that. But we're running out of time. We're out. We are going to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.